Okay, Stephen Key here, and today I want to keep you current on what's going on with those companies that are in the DRTV space. You know, those companies that are producing products you've seen the shelf space as seen on TV. We all love that category. It's fast-pacing, there's a lot of money to be made, but there's things that are happening, and I want to keep you informed of the most current information. I spoke with Trish over at All Star. She's the Vice President of Merchandise. She's been over there, I think, for about 8 years. And with that interview, she gave some really good information. The first thing she said, and this is so important because we want to make sure we're submitting the right products to companies. Make sure your product is unique. That's right. Make sure it's unique. Now, many times you've heard Andrew Krause and myself talk about, look, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can come up with a small improvement on an existing idea and send it to a company. And the reason why that works is that if you make a small improvement on an existing product they're currently selling or someone else's, they know there's a market for it and they probably know how to manufacture it. But that approach does not work with DRTV. See, they want something unique. They want something new. They want something that has a wow factor. So this is what you need to do, because this is what Trish told me. 85% or some high number like that, when they come into her, about 85%, she can find within 1 minute doing a Google image search. So you know what happens? You end up wasting your time, you waste the company's time, and you just don't want to do that. So make sure your product is unique, it's different, it's not out there, there's nothing even similar to it. So make sure you do a Google image search, and it has to have a wow factor. Now, I asked her about patents. I said, Trish, how important are patents? And she said, this is an industry that patents really aren't that important. She says 60% of all the products that All Star launches, there's no patent. Now, if you do have a patent, or if you filed a provisional patent application, or maybe you filed a non-provisional patent application, it could still be valuable. And she said, and if it is, they will even help pay for it in some situations. Not all, but some. So that's the good news. But don't freak out if you don't have a patent. It doesn't matter to these guys. All right. The other thing she had mentioned, digital marketing. Well, this is really interesting too. A lot of these companies now are advertising on Facebook because they can zero in on their target audience. And because of digital marketing is becoming more and more popular with these DRTV companies, things have changed. Number one, they will look at a larger range of products than they would have looked at before. So that's good for us. Also, the price point can be a little different than that magical $19.95. She said, in fact, they'll look at products that will retail for $59. Wow, even that high. So they've opened the doors for different types of products and at different price points. But she also said, don't forget the 1-to-5 manufacturing ratio. What does that mean? That means your product, the manufacturing cost of your product, let's say it's $5, that it will retail for 5 times that. It's 1-to-5 manufacturing ratio, 5 times that. So if you have a product that will be manufactured at $5, it's going to retail for $25. And she says that's pretty standard. And I know a lot of you out there are saying, well, Steve, how do we know how much our idea is going to be manufactured for? Well, if you really want to know, contact an engineer or maybe a contact manufacturer and just say, look, give me a price quote on this product idea. Give me a ballpark idea, but make sure they sign an NDA and make sure that NDA has work for hire language, so there's no confusion on who owns that idea. She also said, product is king. That's what she said. They don't care where a product comes from. They will look on the internet, crowdfunding. They might even go to a county fair if they see a great product. What that also means, and this is new information, she said they'll take a product from anybody. That's right. You don't even have to be the inventor of the product. If you see some wonderful product out there that you think is great for DRTV, you could show them the product, and guess what? They'll pay you. That's right. They'll pay you for someone else's idea if they take it. Now, she didn't talk about dollars and how much. You can work that out with them. But you're becoming a feeder company. Now, I know you're not a company. You could be an individual, but you're feeding these companies good ideas that they're going to take to market. I thought that was interesting news. Also, she said, the minute you submit an idea to when they take it, to when it comes to market, when you're going to start collecting those royalty checks, it takes about a year. That's right. So don't get so impatient. It just takes a little bit of time. She also said the lifespan of a typical DRTV product is about 12 to 18 months. It's a short lifespan. They have great distribution, they sell the heck out of it, and then that is it. So this was, in my opinion, this was fantastic information. Some information I've heard before. Some was brand new. Some of this information was brand new for me. So what I'm trying to do here, I'm going to pull back the curtain, and I'm going to start calling these companies, and I'm trying to get this inside information to you so you can make better decisions, come up with great ideas, send it to these companies. But make sure, the number one thing I want you to make sure here, you have to show them an idea that's new, and show them an idea that they cannot find within 1 minute doing a Google image search. They told us a lot of us are sending them ideas they've already seen before or already out there on the market. So don't make that mistake, because we don't want those doors to close. Stephen Key here. Glad to be back. Subscribe down below. Tell your friends. Whew, I had a good time today. Hopefully you did too. See you next time.